Now the anaerobic wastewater treatment. This is again a very important unit operation of the aerobic even though anaerobic treatment. In this wastewater treatment, the most of the sludge when it is deposited at the bottom, so that can be degraded by the anaerobic bacteria. But where? So the at the bottom of the tank. So in the anaerobic wastewater treatment, the first most important thing is the anaerobic lagoons. So in anaerobic lagoons means a pond which has the anaerobic bacteria. Anaerobic lagoons filled with the animal waste that undergoes anaerobic respiration. So as we know the why it is filled into the wastewater, that animal waste. So most of the animals has their own the bacteria they are degrading. They are used as a degradation of organic matter from the wastewater, like fecal matter, or the most common bacteria, that is the E. coli bacteria, that degrades a lots of that degrades a large amount of the organic matter and convert it into the simpler forms. This manure settles into the two layers, solid and or sludge layer, and the liquid layer. The volatile organic compounds are converted into the CO2. So when they degrade, during the degradation they are converted into the organic compounds. Volatile organic compounds means they are converted into the CO2 and CH4 gases. They are converted in the form of CO2 and CH4, and that mostly used in the anaerobic treatment as a biogas. This allows for the preliminary sedimentation of suspended solids as a pre-treatment process. These substances are emitted through two main pathways, that is gas emission and the lagoon overflow. Why these gas emissions are used? Because most of the microbes they are degrading and they are converted into the volatile organic compounds. And when you covered or utilize that organic compounds as an energy resource, so that will support to the company also. So thus gas emissions are continuous, and the most prevalent gases emitted from the lagoons are ammonia, that is NH3, H2S, that is hydrogen sulfide, CO2 and CH4. These are the common gases emitted from the anaerobic lagoons, means where the bacteria are present in presence of oxygens, which are degrading a large amount of organic matter with the help of mostly these bacteria are the source of the animal waste, and from this animal waste, mostly the most important example is the E. coli bacteria. So they are converted into these gases, and those gases are very important for the energy resource as energy purpose. This is the structure of the anaerobic lagoons. Their depth is high depth, and at the high depth at the bottom these anaerobic bacteria are present, and anaerobic bacteria they are degrading the organic sludge. In this organic anaerobic wastewater treatment, anaerobic bacteria which can transfer the organic matter into the wastewater, as we have discussed in aerobic and anaerobic treatment. Anaerobic treatment means the in absence of oxygen, the bacteria which are growing or degrading the organic matter in absence of oxygen is called as the anaerobic bacteria, which can transfer organic matter in the wastewater into biogas that contains large amounts of the methane gas and the carbon dioxide. So the main purpose of this anaerobic treatment is energy generation, that is the methane gas and carbon dioxide, and mostly it is due to the anaerobic bacteria or anaerobic degradation from the bacteria. This particular treatment helps in the form of energy efficient process, often used to treat industrial wastewater, and that contains high level of organic matter in the warm temperature. It can be used as a pre-treatment prior to aerobic municipal wastewater. Before use of this anaerobic wastewater treatment, you have to clear or screen the waste from the preliminary and primary treatment. Then after you can convert, or then after you can used in the anaerobic wastewater treatment. So what are the things and the basics of this particular anaerobic treatment. So as we know, the complex organic biodegradable compounds we call as the organic matter, when it comes in contact with the water, is called as the hydrolysis. They are they are soluble in the form. Sometimes it is fermented, is converted into the organic acid, converted into the acetic acid, and there are some microorganisms, they are converted into the methane or methane forming bacteria. They are converted the methane gas, we call as the methanogenesis. There are some bacteria, they are formed the acids, that is called as acidogenesis. There are some organic acids or the fermentation bacteria, they are fermenting and they are converted into the CO2, CO2, CO2H2 acids form, that is H2S, like H2S, acetic acid likewise, and the methane forming bacteria, that they form the methane, that is CH4 likewise. So this is overall process present in the anaerobic treatment, means the organic matter is treated or organic matter is degraded by using the anaerobic bacteria, uh, as in the form of hydrolysis. Or when hydrolysis takes place, soluble compounds, they are fermented, organically fermented, or they are converted into the form of the acidogenesis and methanogenesis. Okay, so this is the basic of this particular anaerobic treatment. What are the types of the anaerobic digester? So there are many types of the anaerobic digester which is used for the treatment of the wastewater, and the main second important part use of this particular anaerobic digester is the uh, energy generation. The following is the partial list of the digester can be categorized according to the main criteria by the whether the biomass is fixed to a surface or can mix freely with the reactor liquid, and by the organic loading. So very important, that is UASB, that is upflow anaerobic sludge blanket reactor, and this is very important method used as a water treatment and mostly preferred for the generation of the biogas to the energy electricity. So many companies, many industries, they are using this USB for the energy generation and energy purposes. So it is a suspended growth high rate digester with its biomass clumped into the granules, and that will settle relatively easily with the typical loading rates in the range of 5 to 10 kg COD per meter cube per day. So that BOD load or COD load should be 5 to 10 kg per meter cube per day. That should be in that particular waste. It is a methanogenic digester, means that produces methane, that's why it is called as a methanogenic digester, and that evolved from the anaerobic digester, that evolved from the anaerobic clarigester. So okay, this is the structure of the UASBR, upflow UASBR, that is upflow sludge blanket reactor. This is the reactor, this is closed reactor. This is the influent way, means entry of the effluent towards this way, means from bottom to top side it will comes in the first part, and in this first part the granular biomass will be present in this particular zone, that can be degraded by the anaerobic bacteria. Mostly anaerobic bacteria are present at the bottom of the tank. They will degrade and they will convert it into the gases, as well as some of the dead parts, that is in the form of the sludge. So this is the reaction zone. First is the granular biomass. So the reaction will be takes place, means reaction between the microbes and the organic solids. When it comes in contact with the organisms, they will consume, and they will convert into the gases and the sediments. So the gases will come up, and it can be used for the energy electricity generation. That is, gas liquid solid separator is required for this separation of the gases, and the treated effluent will be come out through this way. Okay, so this is the overall upflow, means the flow of water is this way. That's why upflow means the direction is upper side, above side, or at the top side. Okay, that's why upflow. Anaerobic means the bacteria are in the form of anaerobic type, and sludge blanket. So this is the blanket of the sludge which has the solids, a large amount of solids, and this overall reaction takes place in the closed reactor. That's why it is called as the UASBR. Understood? This is the UASBR. Importance of this particular, or most advantage of this particular UASBR is to form the gas or energy from the waste, that is CH4 and CO2, which is used for the electricity purposes. So what is the process? First is forming a blanket of granular sludge which is suspended in the tank. Second, wastewater flows upward through the blanket and processed by the anaerobic microorganism. Third is upward flow combined with the settling action of gravity suspended with the blanket with aid of flocculants. Fourth, the blanket begins reach maturity at around 3 months. Eventually, the aggregation or aggregates form into dense compact biofilms referred to as granules. Biogas with a high concentration of methane is produced as a byproduct, and this may be captured and used as an energy source to the generate electricity. This is the main important output of this UASB. The heat produced as a byproduct of electricity generation can be reused to heat the digestion tanks, and these USB reactors are typically suited to dilute the wastewater streams, that is 3% of total suspended solids with the particle size is less than 0.75 millimeter. Understood? This expanded granular sludge bed is variant of the USBR concept and faster rate of flow velocity, and is either accomplished by utilizing tall reactors or by the incorporating an effluent recycle for the wastewater passing through the sludge bed. The increased flux permit partial expansion, that is fluidization, of this granular sludge bed, which improves wastewater sludge contact as well as the enhancing segregation of small inactive suspended particles from the sludge bed. This expanded granular sludge bed is an appropriate for the low strength soluble wastewater. So it's more than 1 to 2 gram soluble COD per liter, or wastewater that contain inert or poorly biodegradable suspended particles. This is the structure of the expanded granular sludge bed reactor. This is biobed. This is again one more important advanced the biological treatment, anaerobic treatment. Mostly anaerobic, it works on the anaerobic treatment. It has the cover plate. This is hollow structure. Influent is this way, and the effluent this way. Means entry of wastewater through these pipes. It will comes after the treatment. It will comes out this way. So first is influent distribution system. Cover plate. Expanded granular sludge bed and the biogas. This is the influent, this is the effluent, and the gas is coming out through this top side. This is cover plate, and it has the effluent collecting system. Effluent is collected in this particular collecting chamber. The settled unit is there, and degasifying unit means the gas is formed which is degasified by using the material. Expanded granular sludge bed is there. So this is overall structure of this expanded granular sludge bed. Okay. Now the anaerobic filters. So the anaerobic filter, the digestion tank contains a filter medium where the anaerobic microbial population can be established themselves. It is similar type of the aerobic filters, that is trickling filter, rotatory biological contactors. Similarly, both the filter, that is anaerobic the aerobic trickling filter as well as aerobic rotatory biological contractor, they are also coming into the anaerobic type, because the at the bottom they have they have the anaerobic bacteria, development of the anaerobic bacteria. That's why they are considered in aerobic as well as in anaerobic filters also. They produce a less solid residue than other types of the filters. Okay, because their consumption rate is maximum. This is the structure of the anaerobic filter. Means in this particular anaerobic treatment, most of the anaerobic bacteria, they are present in this bottom of the tank or the reactor. At the upper side, the aerobic bacteria are present. Middle, they mostly facultative bacteria, but the most of the anaerobic bacteria, they are present in the at the bottom of the tank. And the treatment, after the treatment, water is clear, water is coming into the this way. So this is what the anaerobic filters. So this is one more important upflow anaerobic hybrid reactor, that is not important that much way, but it is nothing but the hybrid reactors. So it involves introduction to the new phase of the attached biomass into the regular suspended growth system, and it has the suspended and attached growth biomass, which is developed by the introducing porous material into the regular activated sludge unit. It combines a UASBR with anaerobic filter. Understood? This is a flow hybrid anaerobic filter. This is the only change in the this hybrid. It is as compared to the UASB reactor. Okay, thank you. I think you can understood about the anaerobic treatment and the important methods of the anaerobic treatment. Now the next, afterwards we will look at we will see the next unit, that is subunit, that is the fluidized bed reactor, and the last is the continuous stirring tank reactor. Okay, thank you.